Okay, right now we're going to go over how to evaluate an expression using the order of operations. Remember, we're going to use parentheses and any grouping symbols first, exponents next, then multiplication and division from left to right, and addition and subtraction from left to right as well. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is I have no grouping symbols, so the next thing I'm going to do is look at my exponents, which is right here. So we're going to evaluate our powers. So that's equal to 16 minus 8 divided by 2 squared. It's not 2 times 2, it's 4. So, right, or, well, it's 2 times 2. Remember, like, 2 to the third is not 6. It's 2 times 2 times 2. Right? So then we do plus 14, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and do our multiplication and division from left to right. So I don't have any multiplication, but I do have division right here. So I'm going to divide negative 8 divided by 4, and that's negative 2 plus 14. So now we're just going to add from left to right. So we have 14, 16 minus, or add and subtract from left to right. So 16 minus 2 is 14, plus 14, and then we do 28. If you're using your calculator, make sure you do appropriate parentheses and stuff, because sometimes your order of operations, the calculator doesn't always follow your order of operations the way you need it to. Okay? So let's try another example where let's do 6. Okay, so when I have multiple grouping symbols, I want to go to the innermost one first. So I have a grouping symbol here, and I also have a grouping symbol here. So I'm going to go to the one that's the most inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is do 6 times 32 minus 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then we're going to square that 5. Okay? So remember, that's not 5 times 2, that's 5 times 5, which is 6 times 32 minus 25. So we're going to take care of what's inside these grouping symbols before we multiply. Okay, so we get 6 times 7, and that gives us 42. Another example I wanted to show you was when you have a fraction. So if you have something like 2 to the third minus 5 divided by 15 plus 9. So what you're going to do is assume that there's parentheses on the top and the bottom here. So you just almost even just do your grouping symbols on the top and the bottom. So you're going to evaluate the numerator and then the denominator and then divide. Okay? So 2 to the third is not 6. It's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 minus 5. And then underneath I have 15 plus 9, which is 24. So then I get 3 divided by 24. Now, I can leave it like this, or I can reduce it. I'd rather you reduce it. You can reduce using Desmos or your calculator if you need to. All right. Go ahead, and then we have one more example I want to show you, and that's with substitution. So if we had 3x squared plus 2y plus z cubed, that's to the 3 power, and we're going to say, okay, x is 4, y is 5, and z is 3. Okay, so we're going to first substitute these values in. So this is 3 times 4 squared plus, in parentheses, 2 times y, which is 5, plus z, which is 3 cubed. All right, so I'm going to go to the innermost parentheses first. So I'm going to do 3 times 4 squared. And I'm going to look to the exponent. So that's going to be 27. All right. Again, I'm going to go in and simplify this 2 times 5. So I have 3 times 4 squared plus 2 times 5, which is, I'm sorry, I'm going to erase that real quick. 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 27. Okay, and we'll simplify that, which is 3 times 4 squared plus 37. And then this is, then I have to evaluate 4 squared. So that's 3 times 16 plus 37. Remember that 3 times 16 is 48. And then I add that to 37, and I get 85. So that was a significant amount of work. You can also do some of this in Desmos as well, and also using your calculator doing the substitution for you. But I do want you to practice some of these by yourself. Okay?